Hi, and welcome to Alaskan in the Philippines. Today I thought I'd answer the question for myself anyway. Is Hua Hin the good place to retire, the best place to retire from what I've seen? I don't know, but let's explore some of these, some of the differences anyway. I've talked to several world travelers that have traveled all over the world, and I've just flying and waiting for the bus and stuff down here to Hua Hin. I happened to meet two individuals within an immediate time that had both traveled all over the world, and I asked them where are they going. They were going to Hua Hin, and I said, "Oh, really?" I go, have you been there before?" And they said, yeah, both of them. One of them spends most of his time there. I go, "How do you like it?" And he goes, both of them have said this, that I've traveled a lot of countries in the world and cities, and they think that Hua Hin is the best place for them. It ticks all the boxes. That was two people I've had seen that. And then I'm looking around here, and there's so many retirees here in Hua Hin, and there's way more here than in Dumaguete. I did spend some time in Dumaguete, some months, and it's nice over there too, and it could be a great place for you to retire too, I would say. But comparing it to here, for me, this place ticks all the boxes, whereas Dumaguete in the Philippines quite don't. There's, like I say, there's no nightlife there much at all. It's just everything's closed up at night, and the big action time is in the morning, and that's just in the evenings. You can walk on the boulevard there. That's about all you can really do. There's some bars, a few bars, but it's not a real bar area. I don't know if you're going to get all the bar girl kind of clubs like you would in the Philippines or in Thailand, all over Thailand. Even here in Hua Hin, there's a big nightlife, red light district, probably. I don't know. I don't go there, but I'm sure there's all kinds of women there at these bars when I walk by, and they're all hooting and hollering, catcalling when you walk by. So there's something going on there. So that's the nightlife here anyway. And then there's the beach. We got a nice beach that's somewhat fairly clean and not terribly polluted, but has its ups and downs, But it's a pretty nice beach. It's not smelly or stinky or anything like that. And you can walk it for miles. Everybody does in the morning. A lot of people will go down and run and jog down there. There's no traffic on the beach, so if you want to exercise, people go down and do yoga. The local Thai go down there and put out a mat, and they'll do yoga or meditate or whatever too. So that's just one thing. And then there's the mountains in the background here, and I've never been into them yet. I haven't traveled up into them. I'm sure it's probably pretty cool, but they're not far either, so you have the mountain life. So here you have the nightlife, the mountain life, if you wanted it, and just miles and miles of beach. This goes all the way up to Cham and probably farther. That's how many kilometers of just beach if you wanted to get in the beach and find even a cleaner place. There's places, the locals here that I've talked to say, oh, there's a better place to go swimming and stuff. It's just down here, and I don't know where it is, but I'll probably check that out at some time. And there's they do paddle boarding here. I've seen paddle boarders out there. They do sailing, some kind of parasailing with a surfboard, surf sailing maybe thing. I see that advertised around here. So there's activities here. In Dumaguete, there really was, you can go down to Darwin. That was a nice place to dive. They had a coral reefs, and Apple Island was right out there. You could dive. That's a world-class diving place. People from all over go out there because there's a lot of sea turtles. I actually went out there once, but didn't dive. It was just a boat ride out for me. There was divers on board. It was pretty crowded. There was a lot of divers out there. I enjoyed snorkeling right in Darwin there. It's real nice. I went out, and there's small little patches of coral reefs there, but it's a lot of fish, abundant wildlife. It's a sanctuary, so nobody's allowed to fish right there. Although you could fish right next to it, because it's not a sanctuary. Wherever it's a sanctuary, you can't fish, but right next to it, you could. A few people just seine those little small fish there. That's all the fishing I've seen. But yeah, you could see all kinds of fish, corals. I seen sea turtles while I was snorkeling around there, which I thought was awesome for a free dive. Didn't cost me a peso to dive there, and I was seeing, swam right up to sea turtles. So that was pretty neat. But yeah, in Hua Hin, I'm sure there's some diving places yet. I have yet to find them. I haven't yet, and I need to get a prescription snorkel goggles so I can see underwater, and that's always tough. And I was able to do it in Darwin. Amazingly, there's a place that rented a prescription snorkel that worked for her mask, so that was nice. But anyway, here in Hua Hin, there's the diving, and I seen the locals fishing, and the fishing is just crazy good, with just cast nets they throw out, and they just bring in some nice big, look like rock bass or something, really good look, easy fishing. So there's that. And then there's horses all over the beach. They try to rent you the horses when you're on the beach. You can rent a horse and go riding around for, I don't know how much. I think they were trying to charge $1,000 or something. That's like $30 to rent a horse. But where else can you rent a horse on the beach? They're a little small. I haven't rode one yet. I was thinking about it, but they're kind of small. I feel sorry to make one carry me in the heat of the beach there, but they do. Yeah, but anyway, and then, so in Hua Hin, you got the nightlife too. Like I was saying, Dumaguete don't have much nightlife at all. You can go down and walk on the boulevard, have a walk down there, and that's about it. You can buy some little novelty items, toys, and you eat balut. They have balut there. That's what they sell. That's kind of the main food there. And there's restaurants along the boulevard there. There's several restaurants you can choose from. But yeah, it's no comparison food-wise to here in Hua Hin. Hua Hin, there's just all kinds. There's this food market down here that's night market. You can go in there and there's 100 stalls or maybe more of all different kinds of ethnic dishes, and mostly a lot of Thai food. And it's cheap. It's dirt cheap. You can eat good, and they have live bands. And this is just one of the small markets I've encountered. I'm sure there's more of them scattered all throughout the city. They do these hot pot things, and cook on these clay pots, and just a lot of seafood. This is a big seafood area. There's fishermen docks right down here. They bring the seafood in local here to Hua Hin. We're right on the sea. So they have real fresh seafood here. I've sampled it, and it's all been good. And it's all been ridiculously pretty cheap, Even they got shrimp here this big. I mean, no kidding. I've seen them that big around. And I haven't bought any yet, but I've seen them. They eat snails. They got all kinds of weird seafoods, and I'm going to be trying them all one of these days. But yeah, the seafood is unlimited. Dumaguete had a fish market. Their fish market, you had to go down there. It was early in the morning because the fish wasn't iced. They usually just have it out in a pile. And you'll see a lot of fish sold in the street stands too. It's not iced on, or it was iced when it was traveled there usually. But once it gets out, it lays out on a table, and they'll have a fan above it with some plastic to scare away the flies, spinning around, scaring the flies away. And that's it. So that's kind of if it gets late in the day, the fish is questionable. There's always flies trying to get on it and stuff, and it's not been iced. Here in Thailand, the food quality conditions are much better. They do ice all the fish, or all the seafood I've ever seen around here was iced. Even a lot of the fruit will be iced. The coconuts are iced. You can buy cold coconuts, cold mangoes. They ice everything. They know that cold is good, and keep your meats and stuff cold. And they keep their hot stuff hot too. You see them, they always got their charcoal grills and stuff. They grill food on the street here. Of course, they grill food in the street in the Philippines too. And it's both pretty cheap. I would say the quality here and the selection here is more. In the Philippines, you get a certain, I forget what they call it, tondos or something, tondo. And it's usually pork on a skewer stick, and or chicken on a skewer stick. They do all kinds of they'll do heads and livers, chicken livers, and chicken feet, and just about everything you can think of. And they'll put a sweet sauce on them. Oh, the chicken guts too. They're really good. I like them. They just snake them on a stick, and they're really good. They got this sweet barbecue sauce they put on, sweet, spicy barbecue sauce, everything. So there is that, but that's what it's limited to pretty much for the barbecue. There's some barbecue, but not, you don't see too much barbecue chicken. You'll see the deep fried chicken. Everybody sells that. So like, just like Jollibee, they sell a battered fried chicken on the street all over. Here you can find that too, but you can find barbecued chicken too. Like where I buy up there, he has it half cooked and then throws it on the barbie and smokes it on or finishes cooking it on the grill, and it's got that grilled flavor, and it's really, really good, especially with their sauce, homemade sauce she makes in her tube she pounds with a wooden stake. But anyway, but my point is, back to the comparison, everybody I've talked to so far has said that Hua Hin beats out every place they've been. And I'm not a world traveler by far. I've only been to Bangkok. I've been to the Philippines, just a couple islands. I've been to Cebu. Sikihor I've been. That was a nice place. It was really nice there. If you met a girl from Sikihor, but you're living away from the hospital and stuff too, that's out on a little remote-ish island out there. The power goes out in the evening and stuff. It's real small. Beautiful island. It's just a beautiful island. You could probably live cheap, but there's no major stores, I don't think, out there. That I know of. That's another place that might be good. But they get hit by the tropicals or the hurricanes. And also, when I was there, they hadn't had rain in 2 years. They were feeding their banana leaves to their cattle, cutting their banana leaves down because they were out of grass. That kind of was a bummer. But yeah. But everybody, like I said, everybody I met that I talked to so far, people that have traveled the world, they say this place, Hua Hin, ticks all their boxes. And the reason I'm bringing this video out again, because I've already mentioned a lot of this in this, is I just talked to a guy over here. I was going over to the condo next door, and I was going to ask about how much their rooms are. And I noticed there was a guy standing out there smoking a cigarette. So I walked up and chatted with him. I said, "Oh, you live here?" And he's, yeah. I go, "Oh yeah, how much are the rooms?" And he told me his room was $8,500, which is like $260 US. It's 24 square meters. Like I would probably the same size as the last room I was in. I go, "Wow, that's a good price." And he goes, "Yeah, this is a good condo. The service is real good. They take care of their help's real good and everything." He goes, "I like it." And he goes, "And they do have bigger rooms, a two-bedroom, for 13 or 12,500, and that comes to like $375. So they can get a bigger room for $375. I'm paying $465 or about $460 here, and that's kind of a lot. So I was looking for a new place. So I'm thinking this is just right over across the road here. It's the same. I'd have the same view basically, or the city view again, depending on which side of the building I was on. So after I have 2 months here, I'll probably try 2 months there, or try a month over there and see if I like it or not. It'd be a lot of savings. So that's one thing I've got to look forward to. So I've already booked this place for this month and next month at $460, which is still pretty good. This is a nice room, a lot of shade here with this nice tree here. I kind of like it. Pretty nice here. I have no complaints. The price is decent, but I'll live cheaper if I can, and if it's a decent room and just same view, why not? Save money and use it for something else. But back to my point again, this guy I talked to, and he's been living here I said, "How long you been living here?" And he said 7 months he's been over here. And I thought, wow. I go, "Do you like it here?" "Yes." He goes, "I like it here. It's got everything I need." And he said the same thing. It's got the beach. It's got the malls right over here. You can go walk to the malls. And he drinks. I could tell he was a beer drinker. He was French. He was from France. He says, "Yeah," or I don't know, he probably drinks wine or something. He says, "There's a big French community here, and we all get together and get a chance to speak French." He says, "We love to just rap. I go, "Yeah, it must be good to speak your language." He says, "Yeah, I need to do that once in a while. I really got to." And I understand. I do too. And his English was pretty good. He spoke pretty good English. He had a Thai girlfriend. I guess she was in Bangkok at the moment, and she travels down to see him. But he had been here 7 months, and he said he really likes it. And he's been around. He lived in different areas all over Thailand, he said. Koh Samui, I think he was saying he lived there for a while or something. And he says he really likes Hua Hin. He pronounced it different. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. But yeah, he said he really liked it here, and he's been here 7 months. He's probably going to stay gave me the impression he was going to stay, no desire to leave. His son was coming to visit, he said, so looks like he found his retirement place. And due to the population of retirees here compared to the Philippines, Dumaguete area where I'd seen, there's quite a few there. When you're down around the main middle town and the boulevard, you're seeing a lot of foreigners. But here in Hua Hin, there's so many more Europeans that it's just amazing. It gets me to, like in the mall, it's almost half foreigners sometimes. When I walk through the mall, it seems like it's about half foreigners in there. Europeans, a lot of Europe. This, must be a popular destination for Europe because it's coming into the high season now and it's getting to be even more people. But yeah, I see why too. It's a very nice place. And as a retiree, how can you go wrong with all this cheap rooms that I just quoted you? The cheap food I quoted you. You can eat a piece of chicken for $1.50, and be stuffed. So and they got good malls, things to do. There's 20 golf courses here. I don't golf. That's a thing I'd like to do. My brother's a big golfing fan. I told him, man, there's 20 golfing courses in a town of 50,000. Google says it's only 50,000. It seems busier than that, but it's not overly busy. Once you get off the main street here and walk just into the side streets, there's no traffic. It's perfectly safe and pretty much fine to walk down all of the side streets. The residential streets are quiet. You walk down them, all you hear is the birds chirping. There's no horns honking. There's no crazy traffic. He mentioned that too, that French guy. He says, yeah, that's one thing here, you can drive. He goes, I went to Vietnam, and he goes, my girlfriend said, no, you don't drive. And he says he didn't. And same thing in the Philippines. My girlfriend wouldn't let me drive there. She said, no, you ain't driving there. And I took her good advice and didn't. And I'm putting it to use even here. And I told him the same thing, that I would drive, but I'm afraid of the driving on the wrong side of the road thing. I'm going to probably panic at some point and then go immediately into the right side of the lane where I think I'm supposed to be and crash head on into a semi. But I think I'm going to watch it for a while, and if I watch it, I'm just going to watch it and start learning all these roads by walking them, and then I'll get on a bike eventually. I wish I had my four-wheeler. I had a four-wheeler bike in Alaska, an ATV. We use them. That's exclusively what we use there. That and snow machines was all we used. The roads were mud. You can't drive motorcycles. Although I did have a motorcycle there, and I had a KZ-1000 in Anchorage, a 77 KZ-1000 crotch rocket back in the 70s, or 80s, early 80s, 82. That was an awesome bike. I love that bike. I'd miss it. Be nice here. Well, anyway, I thought I'd just compare again. Like I say, I'm no expert. I've only been here a month and a half, but so far this place really ticks all my boxes, and I have no regrets of being here. I think anybody visiting Asia and you're visiting Thailand, I'd say come visit this place if you're looking for a place to retire that's not too wild and noisy. This might be your place. It might check all your boxes too. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.